Friends, you're welcome to the marriage altar. My name is Apostle Chris Ihuoma. I am the senior pastor of Glimpse of Glory International Christian Center. This morning I've come your way to talk to you on the marriage altar. And today I want to continue with the part B of the program we started last week, and that is building structures for an enduring marriage. Building structures for an enduring marriage. You believe with me that the strength of every structure is dependent on the foundation. When the foundation of a house is solid, when the foundation of a structure is well laid, it gives solidity to the structure. Same applies to marriage. When the foundation of a marriage is well laid and the structure is well structured, it gives solidity and strength to the marriage, and it helps the marriage to stand the test of time. So that is why it's important that we look into some of the structures that we need to build in order to have an enduring marriage. One of the major challenges people are having today is taking a lot of time to prepare for wedding and taking a little time to prepare for marriage. When you take a lot of time to prepare for your wedding and then a little time for your marriage, it tells you where your interest is, and it tells you where your mind, where you place your priority, and that determines where you invest much. But you understand that the strength of the marriage is dependent on the investment you have on the foundation. So that is why it's important that we look into some of these structures. These things are like pillars that can help for a marriage to stand the test of time. And last week, I took some of these structures and I let us to know that number one is the spiritual structure. The spiritual structure helps in giving strength to the marriage. And number two is the ethical structure. Today, I want to continue from where I stopped, and that is the ethical structure. I made mention about the ethical structure that there are families that are known for certain characters, for certain lifestyle and character traits. And it is the duty of the couple, the husband and the wife, to set standard for their family. So today I'd like to talk about the financial structure. These are structures that most cases, if they are not taken care of, they can collapse, and then the marriage can definitely collapse. And so number 3 point I want to look at is the financial structure. If your marriage must stand the test of time, the financial structure of that marriage must be well led. Of course, it's one of the structures that must be taken care of before the commencement of the marriage. The couple must sit down together to plan about their finance, plan about the finance of the family. How do we run this family? Believe with me that spirituality is not enough to run a home. Believe with me that prayer is not enough to run a home. Love is not enough to run a home. The Bible says, if you read the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse number 12, the Bible said that money is a defense. Money is a defense. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, the Bible said that money answereth all things. Money answereth all things. If you read 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8, it said that a man who cannot take care of his own house, his own family, he said he has denied the faith. Is worse than an infidel. So money is important in a marriage, in a home, in a family. For your marriage to start the test of time, money is needed. There are so many things that you must do with money that, yes, you need a prayer, you need your religion, you need so many other things, but there are so many things that you cannot replace with money. Money is a defense. Money answereth all things. Money is like a wall that when it is there, it builds protection around the home. And that is why most of the times, some men, when they don't have money, when they are lacking money, you will see the kind of anger that is in them. Their anger will begin to boil. Their anger will come out. So, money is needed in a marriage. Financial structure is important. One of the things that every couple must consider in their home or even before engaging in a marriage is, how do we manage the finances of the home? The management of the finances is the home, and then creating different sources of income is another thing. How do we generate income in this family? How do we get money? How do we run the home? How do we make the things how do we get the things that we need in the home done? Of course, you must pay your bills. Of course, you must take care of your children as the children are coming. Of course, you must pay the children tuition fees, and you must pay your house rent and all other rents as they accrue. You must pay all those bills, and then you need money to settle them. In talking about financial structure of the home, the first thing you talk about is how do we create streams of income in the family. In a situation that a married man is not working and the wife is not working, definitely it will be a problem in a marriage. When you are going to marry and you ask the man, what do you do? The man said, oh, I am trusting the Lord for a job. And then you, the woman, going into the marriage, you are also trusting the Lord for a job. At that beginning stage, your friends, your family members can help contribute money for the two of you to wed. But the question then is, after the wedding, what next? After the wedding, what next? When you have wedded, when the two of you have come together as husband and wife, how do you run the home? How do you run the family? That is important. So the first thing is, how do we create streams of income for this family? At least the man must have a paid job or a business or something that brings money into the family. The man must have a paid job or something that he is doing, a business, a career, a work, a skill that he has that is bringing money into the home. At least, no matter how small, it is important that the man has something that generates money, that helps him to get money, that money is coming into the family. And then also, on the side of the woman, it must be that the woman has either a little business or any kind of work that she is doing, good work, that is bringing money into the family. So from the man, something is coming in. From the woman, something is coming in. It will go a long way to help you to build the home. But when the two of you are depending on your parents, depending on help from friends, depending on calling people at each time you have financial need, one day you might get stuck at a point that there is a need in the house, urgently needing money to settle some things, but because there is no money coming from anywhere, you might be put into trouble or into shame. So there is need to plan about the streams of income. How do we get money? How does money flow into this family? What does the man do? What is the woman doing? How do we get money? That is important. The next aspect in talking about the financial structure of the home, the next aspect is talking about the management of the finance. Financial management in a marriage is so critical. It's so important. So many homes are broken today and shattered because of inability to manage the finances of the home. There are so many men that love spending. They spend a lot. There are men that are extravagant in spending. So once money enters, they want to spend it. They want to finish it. And then you have a woman who is skillful in financial management. And then there are women also who are extravagant in spending, but the husband is skillful in financial management. So the two of you must consider the abilities of each other in terms of financial management. Because financial management of the home is what helps the family to plan your finances, to save your money against the dry season. In your rainy day, it might look as if that money will not be lacking in the family, but there comes a time that you can consider as the dry season of that marriage. The dry season of that marriage is that time that money is scarce, money is not coming from anywhere. You can fall back to your savings. There are couples that go into joint account as husband and wife. Yes, that is okay to have joint account as husband and wife in financial management of the home. But in having a joint account, that the mandate is either to withdraw. You have to consider both parties. You have to consider the wife has to consider the husband. In a situation that the man is extravagant in spending and the wife is skillful in financial management, and then you have a joint account that is either to withdraw The man can finish the money in the account without the consent of the wife, because the mandate is either to withdraw. So he can easily go to the bank and finish all the monies in the account without the consent of the wife. So these are things that must be considered or must be looked into in the aspect of the financial management of the home. Savings is also put into consideration. How do we save money? Do we have account? Should we open an account for the children? There are families that have what they call children account. Children account is just that account that you open against the children's school and education. Children's schools and education. So you open such an account against the children's school. When they grow, you hand over the account to them. So it makes certain things easy for the children to have the money in the account and then be able to go to their school with ease. So these are things that you consider in financial management of the home. But in all, it is important that financial structure is built. In building the financial structure of the home, you consider the streams of income. What does the man do? What does the woman do? The two of you cannot be applicants. Yes, that is important. In as much as we have faith and we believe that God is able to do all things, but yet the Bible said that whatever he doeth shall prosper. It means you must be doing something, and then you place your hands on what you are doing, and God will prosper you. But I have come to understand that there are men that are so lazy. There are men like that are so lazy. The fact that your wife is working and is bringing money does not mean that the responsibility of running the house should be on the shoulder of the woman. No, the woman should be depending on the husband, because the husband is the head of the house and the woman is to support. But then if the woman is handy enough to run the family, that is not a problem. Where there is love, the Bible said that love covers multitudes of offenses. Where there is love, you might not discover. So if the woman is handy enough, money is coming into the hand of the woman, yes, the woman can run the financial obligations of the home, but that notwithstanding, the man should not hands off and go to bed, that I then go to bed. No, the man should be able to look for something doing and then get money into the house. No matter how much is coming into your house through your wife, you must understand that women appreciate that little that comes through their husband. No matter how little, the woman appreciates that little that comes. He celebrates that little. The woman can keep her millions and celebrate that 100 that comes from the man. So that is why it's important that as a man of the house, you engage yourself in activities that will be profitable activities, profit-oriented activities, so that in so doing, while it's coming from the man, it's coming from the woman, both joined together, the financial obligations of the home will be taken care of. And then that takes me to the next structure here, that is the emotional structure. Emotional structure, that's what we call emotional intelligence. And that must be knowledge. Every couple must be knowledgeable about emotional intelligence. The ability to understand the situation, the circumstances, the emotions of your spouse, and why your spouse reacts the way he or she reacts in certain things and in certain situations and at certain occasions. So, to lay or to build a solid structure for an enduring marriage, emotional structure or emotional intelligence is so crucial and is so critical. You must understand that there is a way a person reacts. There is a way a man or a woman reacts when the person is touched emotionally. For instance, when a man is bereaved or a woman is bereaved. Number two, when somebody lost his or her job. Let's take, for instance, your husband has gone to the office and all of a sudden the director or whoever he submits to in the office just walk up to him and say, "You are fired." And then he picks his file and he's returning back home. You don't expect the man to be jumping and to be laughing. Now you might be jumping as the woman to jump on your husband and then to have all the excitement in the house. The man is not excited about anything. And so to you, if you don't have emotional intelligence to read and understand the mood that this man was not like this when he left the house, something must have happened. What is it that has happened? And at that point, there are certain cases that you don't bring to your husband or to your wife at the point that the man is emotionally down. That you must understand. At the point that the man is emotionally down, the man needs a lot of word of encouragement that will help the man to bounce back and to come back to life. But do you know there are so many women that at the point that the man is emotionally down, that is the time the woman brings the bill. Oh, they just sent the children from school today. Oh, they just did today. The landlord just came, and this one just happened. And by the time the night comes, you wake up the next day and discover the BP of your wife, of your husband, has risen over the normal threshold. And then you begin to ask, this man was not sick at night. It's because the man came back with a lot of load of emotional distress, and you did not allow the man to settle down and get himself back, and then you began to add to the distress that is already built up from the office. So emotional intelligence or emotional structure is needed for you to have an enduring marriage. When a woman is bereaved, that is not the best time to go and ask her for sex. When a woman is bereaved, at that point she's in a moody situation. She's at that time sorrowful. She's in a sorrowful condition, emotional and situation. That is not the time to ask for sex. Do you know so many men have mixed it up? The woman just lost the mother or the father, and the woman is still crying in her heart. Yes, she might not be crying outwardly, you might not see the tears, but in her heart, the woman is still bleeding. And that is the time you want to jump on the woman for sex, and the woman says no. And you say yes. You now stand on top of the ceiling that the woman is denying you sex. At the point the woman is emotionally down, emotionally distressed, emotionally shattered and battered, she might not be in a good position for sexual activities at that moment. So when you don't understand that, you may misinterpret her action or reaction, thinking that it is as a result of whatsoever, but that is not. It's just because at that point the woman is emotionally down. So emotional intelligence is required. When somebody is sick, it affects every facet of the human being. It affects the emotions, it affects the senses, it affects the body system, it affects everything, and it makes the person to be emotionally down. When somebody is in a traumatic situation, in a traumatic experience, it affects the emotions, even the psychology of the persons. It affects the psychology, it affects the emotions, it affects the actions, it affects the reactions, it affects everything about the person. So the person might not be in a stable emotions at that point to take certain decisions or to discuss certain things or to react in certain ways that you expect. So that is important for us to understand. And when somebody has just had a bad breaking news, it can destabilize a person. It can destabilize a person. So emotional structure is important. It helps the couple to understand each other and to know the right time to pass the right information. It helps the couples to understand each other and to know the right time to pass the right information and then get the right answer. And then the last point I'm going to discuss with you today before I pray for you is the career structure. This is one of the aspects that must be discussed and agreed upon from the onset of the marriage. The career structure must be discussed and agreed upon before the onset of the marriage. From the onset of the marriage, it must be discussed. Why or how do I mean? Simply because there are certain careers that cannot be matched together. Do you know if your husband is a marine engineer and you too, you are a marine engineer, some marine engineers can be in the water for 6 months. And so if the woman is a marine engineer, the husband is a marine engineer, and the wife will have to be in the water for 6 months, the husband will be in the water for 1 year. As the husband is coming into the house, the wife is going out of the house. The husband is coming in, the wife is going out. What do you think? How do you think such marriage will be? Then, what if they have children in that marriage? Who do you think will take care of the children? The children will be at the mercy of caregivers and none. And then the parental upbringing will be lacking. It will be lacking. And then there will be misunderstanding at that moment. At that moment, there will be misunderstanding because the couple, they are apart, they are not together. Same applies when a man is a banker, the wife is a banker. These are very good, perfect careers and professions. Very good professions. But you know what happens when the woman is a banker and the husband is a banker and the two of you leaves house before 7 a.m. in the morning every day, and you come back by 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. in the night, you know what happens? The children will be left at the mercy of the caregivers. The children will be left at the mercy of the caregivers. So, when you, from the onset of the marriage, you want to go into marriage, these things must be considered. If not, it can bring trouble or it can collapse a marriage at the long run. So these things must be considered. What is the job of this individual? What is the career of this individual? How do we match the two together so we can have a balanced a marriage, that the two of us will have time for each other and then be able to take care of the children and move the family. So there are certain careers that are time constrained and time consuming. There are certain careers that are time constrained and time consuming. When the couple, the husband, the wife are into careers that are time constrained and time consuming, the both of you will be lacking in your responsibilities, in your marital responsibilities. The cohabitation will not be there. The cohabitation will not be there. The living and bonding might not be there. And so you have a situation, the two of you are joined together as husband and wife, but you are living separate. So by marriage, you are joined together, but by practice, you are divorced. So, of course, it can collapse a marriage. So you must understand that in building a marriage that will stand the test of time, some of these structures must be put into consideration. I have talked about financial structure and that management and the flows of finance into the family. I talk about emotional structure, understanding the position, the situations, the sense, the intelligence of one another. And then number 3 is the career structure. The career structure talks about the job of each other. What do you do? What are you into? How do we marry the two together so that we can have time for ourselves and have time for our children? I want to believe that God has spoken to you, and it will go a long way to help you to amend certain things in your marriage and then be able to understand each other from today so that that marriage will stand the test of time. I'd like you to send questions concerning the issues in your marriage, the troubles and those things you are facing in your marriage today that you need divine intervention. Send in the questions right now. The email is on the scroll bar right now. Send your questions through my email on the scroll bar. Send your questions, send whatever it is. And then if you have any prayer request, you can send it through the email, or you can go to the WhatsApp number on the screen right now. Send your questions and send whatever it is through the email or the WhatsApp number, and I will get them and then I will respond to you. And you want to be part of this program, you want to partner with me to make sure that this program, the Marriage Altar, will reach all the families of the earth. I would like you to please send a message through my WhatsApp, and then we have the account details right now displayed on the screen. Whatever you have, you want to send in as your seed or your partnership seed, you can send them through the account details on the screen right now. And I believe that the Lord will bless you real good. And I pray for you that whatever be the challenges and the issues in your marriage, beginning from now, may the hand of the Lord come upon that marriage. Let the issues be settled. Let the challenges be over. Let there be a turnaround from today. I speak into your marriage that marriage will not collapse. May your marriage receive peace from today. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord honor you. In Jesus' mighty name, I have prayed. Amen and amen. God bless you. Have peace.